Are you lost with a bunch of talents and don't know how they work together? Well, today we're going to be talking about talent synergy and the way they work in the Division 2. Esava, this is LaserBolt. Today we're going to be talking about talent synergy and the way it works in the Division 2. This is going to be part 2 of my dummy guide. So if you guys have been following my dummy series, I want to let you guys know that the first one we did was a build series, and basically what it covered is everything that has to do with knowing how to make a build in the Division 2. If you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend you guys check that out. And we'll be having more dummy series as we progress throughout the game in the Division 2. If there's any topic that you feel needs further explanation and you quite don't understand the way it works, let me know in the comment section down below. We'll be more than happy to put out a guide for you guys. With all that being said, how does talent synergy work in the Division 2? And how are you able to build a perfect pair of synergy? And where should you start off? Well, of course, like always, first things first, I always like to start from the top and work my way down. What I mean by this is knowing what type of weapon you prefer to pick within the game. If you want to run an LMG, AR, sniper rifle, all of that's going to be determined how synergy works across the board. For example, let's take a look at this build right here, and we're going to be talking specifically on synergy. So when it comes to synergy, you're always going to look for your primary weapon. In this case, we're going to be taking a look at this assault rifle, and we're going to be taking a look at its talents and then finding out which type of talents for my secondary and for my sidearm work well with this type of weapon, and how can they coincide and live together to build perfect synergy not only in the weapons but also in the gear. Alright, so let's take a look at my assault rifle. One of the first talents we have here is called Strain. It says plus 10 critical hit damage is gained for every 5% of armor that is depleted. So just by reading that talent alone, I know that in order for me to synergize a perfect build with this specific talent, I know I need to find something that's going to need to support me losing armor and being able to regenerate that armor. But we're going to be talking about how we're going to be finding a specific talent on a gear piece in order for me to get that armor back that I'm going to be losing in order for me to get that crit hit chance damage. Now, as our secondary weapon, we are running the Chatterbox. Now, the only reason we are running the Chatterbox is because of one of its talents that's going to work well with my AR, and that is Blabbermouth. Now, it says, while holstered, reloading your weapon within 5 seconds after a kill grants 20% rate of fire for 10 seconds. So basically what this is telling me, anytime I kill an ad and I reload my weapon after I kill them, I'm going to get a 20% fire rate on my weapon. So that means that when I do that with my AR, because that's going to be my primary weapon, I'm going to be able to increase my fire rate by 20% after I went ahead and reloaded. So that talent right there is working perfectly with my AR, because I do want to have that higher rate of fire, because as you guys know, the more rate of fire that you have, the more faster you're able to kill an enemy. Now, this talent doesn't only work pretty well with ARs, it also works very well with any other sort of weapon like an LMG. They work very well. Now, if for some reason you're saying, Laser, you know what, that I understand what you're meaning there, but I don't see why I need to run the Chatterbox. I think something else could probably fit very well. Now, just for a secondary example, I want to go ahead and show you guys the Nameless Exotic Sniper Rifle. Now, the Nameless Exotic Sniper Rifle has a talent that will also would work pretty well with an AR build, which is Preparation, which says, while holstered, gain plus 25 headshot damage when scoped in with your current weapon. So if I wanted to make sure I could use that specific talent for my AR, basically what I would do is come over here, go to my AR, and then go over here and switch over to my Exotic Sniper Rifle, right? And what I would need to do in order for this to work is just go ahead and put a scope on this, and automatically by me putting a scope on it, it will automatically give me that 25% headshot. So right there, you guys are seeing that I'm grabbing one talent from my weapon and a talent from the sniper rifle or the Chatterbox, and making it work in synergy with my primary weapon. Now, after that, we're going to be looking at our secondary or third weapon, which is our sidearms. Now, this one, the only talent you should always be looking out for when you guys are viewing this weapons, it's of course the last talent, which is the holster talent or while equipped talent. So, for example, this one says, While equipped, this weapon grants 25 bonus armor while reloading. So right here, as you guys notice, this is where synergy comes into play. Remember when I told you guys I was running strained, and strained would make me lose armor, and in order for me to lose that armor, I would need to get that armor back because I want to get that 10 plus crit hit chance, but I'm going to be losing armor in order I'm going to be sacrificing armor in order to do that. Well, I paired that perfectly with this weapon right here, because this talent right here is going to give me a plus 10 bonus armor while reloading. So anytime I reload my AR, I'm going to get that plus 10 weapon damage. So let me show you guys exactly how synergy is working in this complete build if I'm running the Shatterbox, all right? I have my primary weapon. I shoot my weapon, pa 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 pa. I'm going to want to make sure I take a couple bullets because I want to make sure that I'm losing armor so that I could get that plus 10 crit hit chance. Now, as soon as that target is killed, I am then going to reload my gun. As soon as I reload my gun, I am going to proc the Blabbermouth perk on my secondary weapon. And on top of that, I am going to proc the Protective Reload perk that's on my shotgun, giving me a plus 20 weapon fire rate on my Blabbermouth perk and giving me the 10% restore of armor on my shotgun. So as you guys see right there, that is how synergy is working. Those are just in my primary slots. Anytime that you're building a good synergy build, which is what I love building because I think Talent's synergy is much better than any DPS or any other sort of build you could possibly use, just because everything has to work perfectly and in sync in order to give you a very effective product. Now, that right there, guys, if you guys combine those perks, you guys will notice how well they work together. Now it's time for us to take a look at the gear. So right now we know we need to work on a couple things. We need to work on armor regeneration, and we also need to work on DPS values and upping our crit hit chance, right? So we're going to find out different sets of talents that could go ahead and provide that type of ability for us. So for the mask, we're going to take a look at the mask I currently have available. So I have a bunch of masks, as you see here, with hard hitting, and a couple of masks with destructive and some with insulated. Now, for the mask, I always kind of just go with whatever mask has the highest damage to elites. That's like my number one go-to thing. And if you guys saw my build guide video, that's the first thing I told you. Make sure you get the mask with the highest elite damage. It's going to be very crucial for end game content. Now we go to our chest piece. Now our chest piece has the following. It has Berserk. It says plus 10 weapon damage for every 10% of max armor depleted. So as you guys see right here, Berserk works very similar to the talent that I have on my AR. This one says plus 10 weapon damage every 10% of max armor depleted. If I go to my AR, it almost reads about the same. It says plus 10 critical hit damage gained for every 5% of armor depleted. So just right there alone, I know that my chest piece and that my AR require me to lose armor in order to gain additional weapon damage and critical damage. So that I already know. I need to find some other piece within my inventory that's going to allow me to get that armor back or get my health back as quickly as I possibly can. Now, what I went ahead and did was looking at my backpack and finding a backpack that would allow me to get my health back as quickly as I could. So we went ahead and went with this Petrov, which gives us the following talent, which is called Safeguard. It says killing a target grants 150 bonus to repairing and healing effect for 20 seconds. Basically, anytime I kill someone, it's going to give me 100% 50 bonus to repair and healing effects for 20 seconds. Now, the reason why I went with this talent is because this talent is going to help me with the ability of me taking damage and getting my health back as quickly as I can. Now that we got our health a little bit further back, I'm going to look for another talent that's also going to help me with my survivability. Remember, this build right here in particular, the way I'm working this synergy is in order for me to be able to output damage, I need to take a couple hits, but I also need to find a way to get my health back. So I went into the knees and we found a talent, which is Patience. Now, Patience will allow me to do the following. It says, after being in cover for 3 seconds, armor repair by 5% every 1 second. So basically what this talent is going to allow me to do, it's going to allow me to get my health back when I am in cover. So let me explain real quick out of everything that I said how this build works. This build works the following way. I'm going to go out in the field, shoot my gun, take a couple bullets because I want to proc that crit hit chance and I want to proc that weapon damage that I'm procking from my 2 talents from my AR and from my chest piece. And once I take that damage, I want to kill that enemy, reload. Reload will allow me to fire my weapon a lot faster because I'm proccing the talent from the shatter box, and I'm also proccing the talent from my shotgun, which is going to allow me to get my armor back. Now, on top of that, in addition to that, I am going to go to take cover, and while I'm taking cover, I am going to be regenerating my health because I have the patience talent. And that is pretty much the way synergy works. Synergy works where each talent is giving you something, and you're getting something from each individual talent to make the whole thing work. Now, this is just a quick example of how synergy works. Now, of course, there's other different talents that work very differently, and the way you want to start off whenever you're making a build, start off with your primary weapon. Look at the first talent that you have on that primary weapon. If you're happy with that talent, then work your way from that talent across everything in the bottom. So, for example, if you have a talent that takes away armor, you're going to look for something that allows you to regenerate that armor. If you have a talent that gives you faster firing rate, you're going to want to find a talent that gives you more DPS. And that is the way synergy works and talents work within the game. I hope this video made sense and gave you a better understanding on the way talent synergy works in the Division 2. If you did find this video helpful and informative, do me the huge favor, guys. Drop a like, share this video with your friends because that does help me out a lot. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe and hit that notification bell when you subscribe so you guys can stay up to date to our Division 2 content. If you're already a subscriber, just double check that your bell is clicked. That way you guys get notified when videos go live. If you guys ever want to watch awesome and amazing gameplay, definitely check us out over on Twitch. We stream very frequently, so make sure you guys hit us with that follow. The Twitch link is down below. Hit it over there and hit us with that follow so you guys can know exactly when we go live. If you have any additional questions regarding this video, leave it in the comment section down below. If you ever want to get in touch with me or just message me in regards to anything that you have a question for, make sure you hit me up on any of my social medias. The links are down below. Thank you guys for tuning in today, and don't forget WGATAP, and I will catch you guys on the next video.